Your reality may be that having fewer tools would make everything simpler. One platform that handles everything: your projects, your CRM, your communication, your reporting. It sounds clean, it sounds efficient. But what if that very desire for simplicity is actually creating more problems than it solves? Most growing companies eventually reach a point where the number of tools they're using starts to feel overwhelming. So the natural instinct is to try and bring everything into one system, one source of truth, one place where leadership can finally see what's going on. It makes sense on the surface. Fewer logins, less switching between apps, one vendor to manage. On paper, it looks like the smart move. But consider this. Sometimes the pursuit of the all-in-one platform creates a different kind of problem, one that's harder to see until you're already stuck in it. When you force different parts of your business into a single system, you often end up compromising. The tool might be excellent for one department, but clunky for another. Over time, people start working around the system instead of with it. And before long, the very platform that was supposed to create clarity starts creating its own version of chaos. What's interesting is that the real cost of an all-in-one platform rarely shows up in the monthly subscription fee. It shows up in other ways. It shows up in the growing frustration of teams who feel the tool doesn't actually fit how they work. It shows up in the expensive and painful migrations when you eventually outgrow the platform. And it shows up in the quiet loss of flexibility when changing one part of your business suddenly becomes much harder because everything is tied to one system. The promise was simplicity, but what many companies end up with is a different kind of dependency. I've seen this pattern more than once. A leadership team gets excited about consolidating their stack. They move everything into one platform with good intentions. 6 or 12 months later, they're dealing with workarounds, shadow processes, and teams that are quietly frustrated because the system doesn't actually support how the work gets done. It's not that these platforms are bad. It's that the belief that one tool should handle everything often doesn't match the reality of how growing companies actually operate. So maybe the question isn't how do we get everything into one system? Maybe the better question is, what's the right balance of tools and simplicity for how our business actually works right now? There's no perfect answer that fits every company, but being willing to question the all-in-one promise is often where better decisions start. If this perspective resonates with what you're seeing in your own business, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. I'm Chet Naran. Thanks for watching.